Hello and welcome to another edition of Talkin' Business. I'm Joey Trombley. On the camera is the founding father of hometown cable himself, Calvin Castine. And today our travels have taken us to Route 9 in Chazy. We're at West Auto here. And Barry West is the proprietor of West Auto. And it is a cool October morning. We have our coats on today. And actually Calvin's got gloves on the camera. So it's one of our cooler shows this year, obviously, as we move into fall, but it's a beautiful morning, and we're going to talk to Barry about what he does here, how long he's been here, and what got him interested into the car industry as far as the automotives go, as far as working on vehicles and those type of things, and just get to know Barry a little bit better and let you know that he's a local neighbor here in the North Country, serving the North Country people, and our job here is to promote small business in the North Country, and we hope you enjoy today's show, and we'll be seeing Barry here very shortly. And we'll be back after this break. And we've made it inside, and I'm with Barry West, the proprietor of West Auto, and appropriate name, West Auto, with your last name being West. And Barry, how long have you been doing this?
Well, I opened the business in April '97, so it's been 15 years here, and about 10 years prior to that in the business working for somebody else.
Okay, and then your interest, where did your interest come to want to work on vehicles like this? I think you went to CV Tech, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I ended up going to Hudson Valley Community College for 2 years for automotive.
Okay.
But it started probably when I was young. We always had motorcycles or bikes and just enjoyed tinkering with them and getting dirty, and it just evolved from there. Just liked, tinkering with things. And
well, did you know in high school this is something that you wanted to do, like your sophomore, junior, and senior year?
Yeah, yes, it was. Of course, with my father being in construction, always did that for summers and that kind of thing, but just wasn't my cup of tea. Just liked, working on fixing things, and just decided to get into working on cars.
And so the Hudson Valley, was that a 2-year degree?
Yes, AOS degree. Yes.
Okay. And so you got your degree there, and then from there you went into the workforce after your 2-year degree?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically had a job before I graduated from college at DeRocher Lincoln Mercury. They were looking for somebody they could train and out of college, and they gave me my first job, and just went from there.
Okay, and then of course from there you went on to, you worked in Chazy for a while, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
did. From DeRocher's I went to Dannemora Ford
Okay.
for about 2.5 years, and then from there I went to Riley's.
Okay.
Been there for 5 years.
Yeah, so you had a lot of experience, a lot of training.
Yes.
But I mean, back in the day you were called mechanics. I think now it's fair to say you're technicians today.
Technicians. The word has changed. They're trying to be more professional about it. Just with all the technology today, and with trying to change the what you are into technician to be more professional.
Well, but it's more than just a politically correct word, because the cars have changed over the years. I mean, it's more than just cleaning out a carburetor. I know when I come and see you, you say, well, we got to plug it in. So you're plugging into the diagnostics, right?
Right.
So, and you got to train on how to use that piece of equipment.
Right. It's a tool, and a lot of it is trial and error. There is a little bit of training on the equipment, but as far as independent shops, but most of the time you're taking the tool and working with it enough to figure out the ins and outs of how it works, and how to have it help you fix a car.
So it's a good troubleshooting tool.
Yes.
I would assume.
You don't just plug it in and it tells you what's wrong and to replace this part and the car is fixed. I mean, it's a tool to help you fix the car. You have to interpret what it's giving you for the code and what the meaning of that code is, and you have to, from your experience, try to figure out what's going on.
Well, you bring up a good point, the experience. I mean, and the interpretation of these sounds that come in. And I really feel for you guys, because somebody comes in, well, my car is going boink, 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 boink. Like, what the heck's a boink, boink, boink? Or it's making this sound.
Right.
I mean, how, they're trying to give you a picture of what's going on, and you must be going, okay.
But you need that. I mean, that's a big part of trying to figure out what's going on. When a customer comes in the door, well, it's making this noise or that noise. Sometimes you can tell right away what the problem is.
Okay.
Well, it sounds like an airplane taking off. Well, it's probably a wheel bearing. So there's things that you can
So that feedback is very helpful then.
It is. It is. It's kind of funny, but it's very helpful.
Yeah. So I mean, when you're under the hood, it really, the experience that you've come across many situations over the years where you thought it was this, but it turned out to be that, and that experience is invaluable, I would assume.
Yes, because a lot of times, they try to say, start with the simplest thing. So you open the hood, you take cast an eye on everything. It could be as simple as a vacuum hose being unhooked, and by listening, you might hear that vacuum leak, and you trace it out, and the hose just come unhooked or the cap come off, and it could be just that simple. Mm-hmm. But a lot of it is just start with the basics and then go from there.
Well, I know in the past year or so, I've seen these shows, whether it's 60 Minutes or these investigative shows where people think all body shop guys, not body shop, but automotive guys like yourself are dishonest, and they'll try to rip them off. Well, I mean, obviously I know you personally and the family, obviously, and you're far from that. But I want to bring that out, that is not the way you do business. I mean, you've been here 15 years, and if you did that, you wouldn't be in business.
Right. I mean, you have to be fair and honest with people. You have to work with them the best you can, and because you want that repeat business.
Absolutely.
Being a small business, it's you rely on that and in the word of mouth, and you want a positive feedback on that to stay in business.
Absolutely. So I mean, if somebody comes in and they may think it's wheel bearings, but you go on, it's a matter of cleaning something out, and they don't need the wheel bearings, you'll tell them that.
Well, I've had customers come in and been somewhere else, and they said, well, they need this, and this, and I'll get it up on the rack and check it out, and I'm like, no, you really only need this, and they're happy.
Sure.
They're able to get away with a little less money, and that obviously makes everybody happy.
Well, absolutely. And again, the reason I stress that here, we have a local guy here, Barry West, in our community, and I know Barry's involved with the community. I know you do the square dancing, and you do the nice pancake feed in the spring. That's been a yearly tradition for going on 30 years. Is it the Sanger's Pancaker?
Yes.
Okay. So you have that going on, and I know you work down at the fair, and so you're very involved in the community, and we're trying to promote local business here in the North Country. And I know I sound like a broken record if you follow this show every week, but it's people like Barry that we want to support, because when the money stays local, he keeps it here local. Now, why don't you let the folks know exactly what do you do here? I mean, I know you change brakes and stuff, but kind of give them an idea of what you do.
Well, it can be simple as an oil and filter change. It can be brakes, rotors, pads, whatever needs to be done with the brakes. Tune-ups, anything to do with that. Spark plugs, air filter, fuel filter, which is big today with the price of fuel. You need your car running good. Engine repair, replacement, anything to do with that. I can do transmission service. I don't get into rebuilding transmissions. I can replace them, or we can just do the filter and fluid change. Inspections, New York State inspections.
Yeah.
And if there's something I can't do, don't feel comfortable with, I'll tell you.
Okay. And I know you like to work off appointments, obviously, the better.
Especially being by myself, it's hard to take care of people walking in the door right away, because usually I've got things going on, time frame I have to deal with. So it's, I need to have the appointment so I can make sure I get everything done.
Okay. Now, you don't do like wheel alignments or those type of things?
Nope. I don't get into alignments. I don't get into tires.
Will you replace tires?
No, I usually ship them out. If somebody wants me to take care of it, I can get it done, but I have to ship it to Plattsburgh.
Okay. So you don't have a supply of tires here?
No, I don't.
I know you have batteries.
I do stock batteries. Just
windshield wipers?
Yep, wipers, oil filters. I stock all that, the oil. That's pretty much all I stock, because I got a couple places that deliver to me at least twice a day. So there's no sense of me putting a lot of money out in stock when I can just make a phone call and and I have it that same day.
And you have all these companies that will deliver to you as you need it, so which is kind of neat for your business. Now, your hours of operation.
Um, 8 to 5:30, Monday through Friday, and then 8 to noon Saturday. I also drive school bus for Chazy, so the times are a little. I advertise 8 to 5, but technically I don't get here till 9:30 from the bus, and then I leave from 1:30 to 3:30 every day, and then I finish out after that till 5:30.
You finish your day out then, and then on Saturdays.
I'm usually try to schedule between 8 and noon.
Okay, so about a half a day if the workload is there.
Right. Sometimes, most of the time, it's longer because I've got other things to catch up on.
Sure. Now, the location. How did I think your dad acquired the location first, right?
Yes.
And how'd that all come about?
Well, originally, obviously, when you want to open a business, you want to try to get on the main drag.
Sure.
And originally, we were looking at across the street from the orchard, buying from the orchard, and the lay of the land just, we were going to have to bring in quite a bit of fill. So then we found out this area was available and decided to purchase here.
Okay. And so you were part of that decision-making process with your dad?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Okay. Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. And I know your dad obviously built this being in construction.
Right.
And this is quite a large building.
It is. It's 40 by 60. And I was obviously a big part of that, working with 3 different dealers. Kind of had an idea what I wanted, and made the input as far as what I needed to run a shop. And my father had a couple different designs in mind, and we decided, we came up with this design, and it's worked out really well.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you have 3 bays here.
3
If
bays.
I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Okay, a lot of storage in the back, upstairs.
Yep, I do have a little basement in the back underneath, about 10 feet by probably 40 feet long. There's a basement where my furnace and my water comes in down there. Fuel tanks, everything's down there, so
Okay.
that works out well.
Now, is there anything else I might have missed here that you offer people, or you want to get out there? Because when we do this show, it's amazing that someone that we're doing this interview will come out with something. Oh, we never knew that, and we just want to get it out to the public. If there's anything out there that you want to share with them.
No, I mean, if it's something automotive or has an engine in it, just, all you can do is call me, and if it's something I can do, I'll tell you. If not, I'll refer you to who I think would be your next best choice.
Well, I can tell you firsthand, Barry is an excellent technician, and I'll use that word. He works on our cars, and he does a fantastic job. And you call Barry, he's got a friendly voice, and we set up an appointment. And he's not like a doctor. You get here, he pretty much gets you on time. You can get in and out of here. And I shouldn't be giving a shot to the doctors. Calvin's looking at me here. It's just well known, and you go to a medical field, you kind of wait at times. So we'll leave it at the medical field. Of course, the doctor is watching this. Calvin probably won't send any donations to you, but.
I just lost John's
But Barry's very good about, because he values people's time. He understands that. Barry, I know you've been here 15 years, and it probably just seems like yesterday when you opened. I know it does to me. I mean, I can remember us having our first conversation when you first opened, and here we are 15 years later, and it's amazing. Well, since that time, you have 2 beautiful children that have come along, and life goes on.
Don't forget my wife.
Well, your wife is an automatic. I mean, obviously. So time does go on, and West Auto here in Chazy, they do a wonderful job. And while I'm on the subject of talking to Calvin and making a joke that the medical field won't send him a donation, actually that's how Calvin supports what he does. It's viewer supported, and it is business supported. And if you have never given to Hometown Cable, Hometown Television here, you really should. It's great programming, and we call this Preserving the North Country Treasures. And Barry, this show here, which will probably be on the internet tonight at HometownCableNetwork.com or Plattsburgh.com. He'll also show it on the Access Channel down in Plattsburgh and here in the North Country with Time Warner and Charter. And but this show here will become a North Country treasure. And as the years go on, and Julia and Harry and
Reagan.
Reagan, yeah, blank spot here. they're going to appreciate this, and they're going to look back, and you will appreciate this. And this is what we call a North Country treasure, and it's today, and it will be a treasure for tomorrow. And if you go online, I know Calvin's over 8,000 videos right now already posted on the internet, going back many, many years. He's posting new stuff, and Calvin is a North Country treasure. He has captured all this stuff from the North Country, and it's more than just the sporting games. He's captured all the big events of the area, the tragedies of the area as far as weather goes, from the ice storm to the floods to Hurricane Irene, and that's all captured, all because of Calvin and his vision that he started 27 years ago, and who would have known that it has grown to this point. So if you can make a donation, it's 1477 Ridge Road, Champlain, New York, 12919, or you can go to HometownCableNetwork.com. They have a PayPal account. And if you're a business and you want to expose your business, Calvin has some very phenomenal rates to expose your business out there. Let Calvin know, and he'll be more than happy to talk to you about it. And I know you won't be disappointed. Between Kavanaugh Realty and Northern Blacktopping, spanning over probably as long as he's been doing this, we have been supporters of Hometown Cable, and we don't regret it. The exposure is fantastic. So I'd like to, Calvin, did you want to add anything?
We want to know who his father is. We mentioned his father, but we never said who it was.
Oh, well, yes, please.
Bob West is my father.
And of course from the West Brothers.
West Brothers Construction.
With his brother Richard Dickey.
Yes.
Okay. And in that field, your cousin Jimmy has kind of carried that torch.
Yes. He's kind of going to take over, per se, as my father and my uncle wind down. Jimmy's going to take over and hopefully fill a spot.
well, Jimmy is a craftsman. We know that. He does just phenomenal work. But he got it from two pros, and your dad and your uncle. And, of course, that all came from your grandfather, Monroe. And so there's definitely a history of talent coming down through the years there. And, you say they're winding down, but I see them, they're still out there, and they're still craftsmen of their trade.
Oh, yes. They'll probably never quit. Got to keep doing something.
Right.
That's just the way they are.
Well, the family history, and I tell you this from the West family, if they do a job, they do it right. They don't want to go back and repeat the job, and anybody that has hired West Brothers can tell you that it's done right. It's done with quality. They don't go back. They don't have to, because it's done right, and it carries off here to Barry here in the automotive industry. Barry has that same work ethic, that same values that he was brought up by his dad and his uncles and his grandfather. So, Barry, it's been a real pleasure doing this show for you. I think you'll enjoy the exposure. We get a lot of good feedback from Talking Business, and again, we're out there just trying to promote local businesses in the North Country, and it's a pleasure for me to do this with Calvin. And Calvin, this was Calvin's brainstorm a year ago, actually around this time. So we're coming on our year anniversary in November, if I'm not mistaken. Was it October that we started? Oh, that's right, we did. Was it the Chazy here, the Chazy Orchards?
We did the orchards, and Tom
Up North Barbecue.
here.
Yeah, that was it. And so we're into our year here of doing this programming, and I enjoy it. And again, I don't get paid for this, and I want to let people know that I do donate my time to Calvin to do this, because I believe in the North Country. I believe in the North Country businesses for what they do for the area. And so hopefully, when you can support local businesses. That's the goal of this segment, this show. And if you have any comments, good or bad, let Calvin know. Send him an email. If you see him on the street, or you see me, let me know. And if we can find ways to improve what we're doing, we'll definitely do that. But we do appreciate your support, and it has been a pleasure to do this show with Barry here at West Auto. And it is the 9th of October, 2012, and it's definitely warmer in here than it was out there, Barry. We got to get used to that cooler weather now.
Yes.
And this has been another edition of Talkin' Business, and we'll be with you next week. Actually, next week we're going to be, I think we're going to be at Parker Chevrolet with Rala, Tim, and Sean Parker. So we look forward to that show, and we'll see you then.